Bucknutters, welcome to the Morning Five on April 9th, 2014. I am Dave Biddle. Ohio State will hold its 13th practice of the spring today, and we will interview head coach Urban Meyer afterward. For those wondering about spring game rosters, usually Meyer splits up the teams by himself with input from his staff. He doesn't hold a draft like Jim Tressel did. I don't think Meyer will reveal the rosters tonight. I expect that will be coming tomorrow, or perhaps as late as Friday. One thing is certain, Cardale Jones and JT Barrett will be on opposite teams and will get a ton of reps at this Saturday spring game. It's going to be a lot of fun to see how both quarterbacks look. The game is at 1:30 at Ohio Stadium and tickets are $20 at the door. Subscribers can look for a story plus video of Meyer's comments tonight around 8 p.m. If you're not a subscriber, make sure you take advantage of our 30-day free trial. 24/7 Sports could knock it back to a 7-day free trial at any time, so make sure you take advantage while this great offer is available.
They've done studies, 60% of the time, it works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
Now let's turn our attention to Ohio State football recruiting, and for that, we go out to our East Coast Bureau Chief, Alex Gleitman in New York City.
It's going to be a big weekend for the Buckeyes as they welcome a number of visitors both on Friday and Saturday for the spring game. But today they also welcome a couple of prospects, David Edwards, an athlete from Illinois who they're looking at as a tight end, as well as Keyshawn Johnson Jr., a 2017 wide receiver who will be on campus with his father, Keyshawn Throw Me the Damn Ball Johnson Sr., and Darnay Holmes, another talented defensive back prospect out of California. So they flew out for the practice, and they're going to be some decent eyeballs, especially on Keyshawn Johnson Sr. and Keyshawn Johnson Jr. during that trip. On Friday, a big-time visitor in Sterling Jenkins, the offensive lineman from the Pittsburgh area, as well as H-back Chandler Cox from Apopka, Florida. Those two are making their visits on Friday for practice. And then on Saturday is the spring game. Some big names to watch: Shamar Kilby-Lane, Draymond Jones, two talented players that are going to be on commit watch, as well as long snapper Liam McCullough. Offensive lineman James Daniels will be in town as well, as will a bunch of 2016 and 2017 prospects: Nick Bosa, Jonathan Cooper, Tommy Kramer, Josh Myers, Todd Sibley, and Danny Clark, just to name a few. We'll have an article for you on Thursday previewing all of the weekend's visitors. But, this is kind of the culmination of spring practice. Urban Meyer tends to kind of start picking up recruiting momentum around the spring. The spring game was big a couple years ago when they secured the commitment of Joey Bosa, as well as Alex Anzalone and Lewis Neal, both who decommitted. But they also, made some strides on some other prospects during that. So, I expect maybe, anywhere from 1 to 3 commitments coming out of this weekend, and then, building the foundation on a bunch of other prospects that come in. So I think those of you who are wondering about Ohio State just having 3 commits at this point won't have to worry too much longer, as Urban Meyer kind of starts his momentum with the spring game this weekend and carries it through the summer camps, not only in June, but then with Friday Night Lights capping off the summer on July 25th.
Thank you, Alex.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Let's finish the show talking about 2 players that a lot of fans have been asking about: junior defensive end Jamal Marcus and 5th-year senior tailback Rod Smith. From what I am told, this has nothing to do with on-field performance. We'll have much more about this in the boarding house today for premium subscribers, but the Cliff Notes version is that Marcus and Smith are not taking care of their business off the field. It's been disappointing that Marcus hasn't been able to build on his tremendous performance in the Orange Bowl when he received the start in place of the suspended Noah Spence and had several impressive plays against Clemson. The good news here is that fellow North Carolina native redshirt freshman Tyquan Lewis has stepped up this spring and has been taking reps with the second-team defense. The coaching staff has been very complimentary of Lewis, and it's clear he's going to play a decent amount this season, especially with Spence out for the first 2 games and Marcus in hot water with the coaching staff. Hopefully Jamal Marcus can get back in the good graces of the staff, but the Buckeyes are fortunate they have good depth at defensive end. Senior Steve Miller is another player they can rotate in at that rush end spot.
I want your heart. I want to eat his children. Praise be to Allah.
As for Rod Smith, this spring was really his final chance. If he's buried on the depth chart following spring, you can forget about him receiving a lot of meaningful snaps this fall. The carries will go to Ezekiel Elliott, Curtis Samuel, and Briante Dunn if you ask me. Again, we'll have much more about this in today's boarding house for subscribers. Not a subscriber? Try our 30-day free trial. Thank you very much for joining us on today's Morning 5. I hope everybody has a great day.